You don't have a discipline problem. You have a wiring problem. Your brain is still running on the same broken operating system that let you quit last time, and the time before that, and the time before that. Willpower is a lie. Motivation is temporary, but neural rewiring, that's permanent. In the next hour, I'm going to show you exactly how to reprogram your mind in 30 days to become someone who doesn't just start things, you finish them. No excuses, no exceptions, no negotiation. This is the 30-day discipline reset, and if you listen to the end, you will never be the same person again. Let's start with the truth you don't want to hear. You are not lazy, you are not weak, you are not broken, but your brain is absolutely scientifically, biologically programmed to quit. And until you understand this, you will keep losing the same battle over and over again. Here's what's happening inside your skull right now. Your brain has one job: keep you alive. Not successful, not fulfilled, not disciplined, alive. And for 200,000 years, staying alive meant conserving energy. Your ancestors didn't go to the gym, they didn't set goals, they didn't read self-help books. They survived by doing the absolute minimum necessary to not die. Find food, avoid predators, conserve energy for emergencies. That wiring is still in your head, right now, today. Every single time you hit the snooze button, choose the couch over the gym, grab your phone instead of doing the work, you're not being weak, you're being obedient. You're following 200,000 years of evolutionary programming that says comfort equals survival and discomfort equals danger. Listen to me. The same brain that kept your ancestors alive is the same brain that's keeping you average, stuck, unfulfilled, and mediocre. That's the key. Your brain doesn't know the difference between a predator chasing you and a deadline stressing you. It doesn't know the difference between actual starvation and skipping breakfast to work out. All it knows is that you're pushing it outside its comfort zone, and comfort equals safety. So what does it do? It screams at you to stop. It manufactures excuses. It creates resistance. It tells you you're tired even though you slept 8 hours. It tells you you'll do it later even though later never comes. This is not a willpower problem. This is a wiring problem. Now let's talk about dopamine. This is where most people lose the war before they even know they're fighting it. Dopamine is the reward chemical. Your brain releases it when you do something it thinks is good for survival. Eating sugar, dopamine hit. Checking social media, dopamine hit. Watching Netflix for 4 hours, dopamine hit after dopamine hit after dopamine hit. Here's the problem. Your brain doesn't care if the dopamine comes from something productive or something destructive, it just wants the hit. And here's what you need to understand. Instant gratification creates a massive dopamine spike. Working hard for a delayed reward? Almost no dopamine, none. So, when you try to build a business, study for an exam, work out, write a book, your brain gets zero reward, zero dopamine. And because it's not getting the chemical it craves, it starts screaming at you to quit and go back to the thing that gives instant hits. Scroll, eat, watch, repeat. This is why discipline feels like torture at the beginning. You're not fighting against laziness, you're fighting against neurochemistry. You're asking your brain to work for hours with no reward when it knows it can get a massive hit in 30 seconds by grabbing your phone. That's the key. Disciplined people aren't special. They don't have magic willpower. They've simply rewired the dopamine pathways through repetition until the hard thing became the rewarding thing. You have a choice. You can keep blaming yourself for being weak, or you can understand that you're fighting a rigged game and learn how to rig it in your favor. Let me destroy one more lie before we move on. The lie that some people are just naturally disciplined. You see them waking up at 5 a.m., crushing workouts, building businesses, and you think they're wired differently. They're not. Here's what actually happened. At some point, they did the hard thing when they didn't feel like it. Then they did it again, and again, and again. And after enough repetition, their brains stopped resisting because the new behavior became the default behavior. Discipline is not a personality trait. Discipline is a practiced behavior that becomes automated through repetition. Listen to me. The person who runs every morning doesn't wake up excited to run. They wake up and running is just what they do. No debate, no negotiation, no motivation required. It's automated. Their brain doesn't fight it anymore because the neural pathway is so deeply carved that resistance doesn't even show up. You think they're special. They're not. They just repeated the behavior until their brain accepted it as normal. That's the key. You don't need to be naturally disciplined. You need to repeat the behavior until your brain stops fighting you. And that process takes exactly 30 days of non-negotiable execution. So, here's what you need to internalize right now. Your brain is running outdated software. It's optimized for survival in a world that doesn't exist anymore. It rewards instant gratification and punishes delayed gratification, and it will keep doing this until you force it to change. This is not a motivation problem. Motivation is a feeling, and feelings are irrelevant. This is about understanding the mechanics of your own brain and using that knowledge to reprogram it. You are not the victim of your wiring. You are the programmer. And for the next 30 days, you're going to write new code. You have a choice. You can keep running the same broken program and wondering why you keep getting the same results. Or you can accept that your brain is working exactly as designed, and that design is obsolete. The good news is, it's reprogrammable. The bad news is, reprogramming it is going to be uncomfortable, repetitive, and non-negotiable. But here's what happens when you do it. After 30 days of forcing your brain to accept a new behavior, the resistance disappears, the excuses stop, the negotiation ends, and you become someone who doesn't need motivation because discipline is your default state. You just learned why you quit. Now let's talk about when you quit, because there's a specific window where almost everyone fails, and if you don't know it's coming, it will kill your progress before you even get started. Chapter 2: The 72-Hour Failure Window. There's a graveyard in your past. It's filled with all the things you started and never finished. The gym memberships you bought in January and abandoned by February. The diets that lasted 3 days. The business ideas that died in a notebook. The morning routines that collapsed after 1 week. And if you look closely at every single corpse in that graveyard, you'll notice something. They all died in the same place, the 72-hour failure window. This is where discipline goes to die. Day 1, you're excited. Day 2, you're committed. Day 3, the doubt creeps in. And by day 4, you're negotiating. By day 5, you've quit. And you tell yourself the same lie you always tell yourself: I'll start again Monday. Let me tell you what's actually happening. On day 1, your brain is flooded with dopamine from the novelty of starting something new. You feel motivated, energized, different. This time is different, you tell yourself, and you actually believe it. Day 2, the dopamine is still there, but it's fading. The behavior is still new enough that your brain is cooperating. You're still running on fumes of excitement. Then day 3 hits, and this is where everything changes. Day 3 is when your brain realizes there's no immediate reward coming. The scale hasn't moved, the business hasn't made money, the muscles haven't appeared. Your brain expected a payoff, and when it doesn't get one, it declares the entire operation a failure. And that's when resistance shows up, full force, with reinforcements. That's the key. The 72-hour failure window isn't about willpower. It's about your brain realizing that this new behavior costs energy and delivers no instant reward. So it activates every defense mechanism it has to pull you back to baseline, back to comfort, back to what's familiar. Here's what resistance looks like. You wake up on day 3 and suddenly you're more tired than you've ever been in your life, even though you slept 8 hours, even though nothing physically changed. Your brain is manufacturing fatigue because fatigue is a legitimate excuse to quit. You can't argue with being tired, right? Wrong. You're not tired. You're being manipulated by your own neurology. Or maybe it's not fatigue. Maybe it's sudden responsibilities. On day 3, you'll suddenly remember things that need to be done right now. Emails that can't wait, errands that are urgent, projects that demand your attention. None of these things were urgent yesterday, but today your brain is using them as ammunition to get you to skip the new behavior. Just this once, just today. You'll do it tomorrow. That's the key. Your brain doesn't tell you to quit forever. It's smarter than that. It tells you to quit today. Just skip today. Tomorrow will be easier. Except tomorrow never comes. Because once you've skipped day 3, you've taught your brain that the behavior is optional. And optional behaviors don't become habits. They become excuses. Listen to me. Day 3 is the battlefield. This is where you either become disciplined or you go back to being average. There is no middle ground. You either show up on day 3 regardless of how you feel, or you reset the counter back to 0. You have a choice. You can listen to the voice that says you're too tired, too busy, too stressed, or you can recognize that voice for what it is, your brain's survival mechanism trying to conserve energy, and you can do the thing anyway. Here's what you need to understand. Days 1 and 2 don't count. They're running on motivation, and motivation is temporary. Day 3 is the first real test of discipline, because day 3 is the first day you have to do it when you absolutely do not want to. When every cell in your body is screaming to quit, when your brain is throwing every excuse at you, that's when discipline is built. Not on the days you feel good, on the days you feel terrible and do it anyway. That's the key. Discipline is not doing the thing when you're motivated. Discipline is doing the thing especially when you're not motivated. So here's your protocol for surviving the 72-hour failure window. On day 3, you don't negotiate, you don't debate, you don't assess how you feel. You wake up and you execute the behavior exactly as planned. No modifications, no "I'll do it later," no "I'll make up for it tomorrow." The plan is the plan. The commitment is the commitment. And here's the phrase you repeat on loop when resistance shows up. This is not up for debate. Say it out loud if you have to. When your brain says you're too tired, this is not up for debate. When it says you're too busy, this is not up for debate. When it says you deserve a break, this is not up for debate. You are not negotiating with your feelings. You are executing a predetermined plan regardless of your internal state. This is the only way through the 72-hour window. Now here's what happens if you make it past day 3. Day 4 gets slightly easier. Day 5, slightly easier still. By day 7, your brain starts to realize that resistance isn't working and begins to lower its defenses. By day 14, the behavior feels less like torture and more like routine. By day 21, it's becoming automated. By day 30, it's who you are. But if you quit on day 3, none of that happens. You go back to 0, and the next time you try to start, your brain remembers that you quit last time. So the resistance shows up even faster, even stronger, because you've taught it that you fold under pressure. That's the key. Every time you quit in the 72-hour window, you're not just failing at one goal. You're training your brain that quitting is your default response to discomfort, and that pattern will follow you into every area of your life. You have a choice. Survive 72 hours or spend the rest of your life starting and quitting. Those are the only 2 options. You just learned when you're most likely to fail. Now let's talk about the one behavior that makes everything else automatic. Because you can't rebuild your entire life in 30 days, but you can absolutely rewire one habit that cascades into everything.
Chapter 3: The single habit that rewires everything. You want to fix everything at once. Your sleep schedule, your diet, your fitness, your work ethic, your relationships, your finances. I get it. You're fired up, you're ready. You want total transformation, and you want it now. And that's exactly why you're going to fail. Here's the truth. You cannot rebuild your entire life in 30 days, but you can absolutely rewire one keystone habit that creates a domino effect across everything else. One habit, not 5, not 10, 1. Listen to me. Your brain can handle one significant change at a time, not 2, 1. When you try to overhaul your entire existence simultaneously, you create cognitive overload. Your brain looks at the mountain of changes and does what it always does when it's overwhelmed. It shuts down, it quits, and you wake up 3 days later having abandoned all of it. That's the key. The person who tries to change everything changes nothing. The person who changes one thing changes everything. So here's what you're going to do. You're going to identify one single, specific, non-negotiable behavior and make it so consistent that your brain has no choice but to accept it as your new normal. This is your keystone habit. And for the next 30 days, this habit is your religion. Now, let me be very clear about what makes a keystone habit actually work. It cannot be something trivial. Drink more water is not a keystone habit. Think more positively is not a keystone habit. Your brain will not register these as significant changes, which means the neural rewiring won't occur. You need something that requires genuine effort, something that makes you uncomfortable, something that forces your brain to adapt. But here's the other side of the equation. It also cannot be so extreme that failure is inevitable. Run a marathon every day is not a keystone habit. It's self-sabotage. Never eat carbs again is not a keystone habit. It's a setup for failure. And when you fail, you don't just lose the habit, you reinforce the identity of someone who quits. That's the key. The perfect keystone habit sits right in the middle. It's hard enough to rewire you, simple enough to guarantee execution. Let me give you examples. Waking up at 5 a.m. every single day, that's a keystone habit. It's uncomfortable, it requires discipline, but it's physically possible to do 30 days in a row. A 20-minute workout every morning before your phone, that's a keystone habit. It's challenging, it hurts, but it's executable. Writing 500 words daily, cold showers every morning, no phone for the first hour after waking. These are keystone habits. Notice what they all have in common. They're painful, but they're doable. They require you to override your brain's desire for comfort, but they don't require you to be superhuman. Now here's the critical part. Your keystone habit must happen at the exact same time every single day. Not sometime in the morning, not when I have time, the exact same time. Because consistency creates automation, and automation eliminates resistance. If your keystone habit is a 20-minute workout, it happens at 6 a.m., not 6:55, not 6:10, 6 a.m. every day for 30 days, without exception. Your brain needs the repetition to be identical so it can build the neural pathway as efficiently as possible. That's the key. Variation is the enemy of habit formation. Consistency is the engine. Let me tell you what's going to happen over the next 30 days. Week 1 is going to be brutal. You're going to hate it. You're going to want to quit. Your brain is going to manufacture every excuse in the book. This is expected. This is normal. This is the rewiring process. You do it anyway. Week 2, the resistance starts to weaken. It's still hard, but it's not as hard as week 1. Your brain is beginning to accept that this behavior isn't going away. Week 3, you hit a turning point. The habit starts to feel less like a battle and more like routine. And by week 4, something incredible happens. The behavior becomes part of your identity. You're no longer someone trying to wake up early. You are an early riser. You're no longer someone working on fitness. You are someone who works out. This identity shift is everything, because once the behavior becomes part of who you are, acting against it feels like betraying yourself. But here's where most people sabotage the entire process. They negotiate, they modify, they make exceptions. And the moment you do that, you've taught your brain that the habit is optional. And optional habits don't become identities, they become suggestions. So for the next 30 days, your keystone habit is non-negotiable. Not I'll try, not I'll do my best, non-negotiable. It happens every single day at the exact same time, regardless of how you feel, what's happening in your life, or what circumstances present themselves. You have a choice. You can treat this like every other goal you've set and quit when it gets hard, or you can commit to 30 days of absolute, unbreakable consistency and watch what happens when you prove to yourself that you're capable of discipline. Here's the mantra you repeat every single day. This is non-negotiable. This is who I am now. This happens no matter what. Write it down, put it on your mirror, set it as your phone background, because on day 12 when you're tired, on day 18 when life gets chaotic, on day 27 when you think you've done enough, this is what brings you back. That's the key. Discipline is not built through big dramatic decisions. It's built through one small behavior executed with absolute consistency until your brain updates its programming. By day 30, you won't just have a new habit, you'll have new evidence. 30 consecutive data points proving that you are someone who keeps promises to yourself, that you are someone who doesn't negotiate with discomfort, that you are disciplined. And that evidence changes everything. You just learned how to rewire your brain with one habit. Now we need to talk about the thing that's been killing you slowly for years, the thing you've been calling self-care, but is actually self-destruction.
Chapter 4. Kill comfort before it kills you. Comfort is killing you. And the worst part? You think it's helping you. You call it self-care, you call it balance, you call it treating yourself. But what you're actually doing is signing a contract with mediocrity every single day. And that contract has a clause you're not reading. It says you get to stay exactly where you are, doing exactly what you've always done, being exactly who you've always been, forever. Let me tell you what comfort actually is. Comfort is the silent assassin of potential. It doesn't attack you with dramatic failure. It doesn't embarrass you in public. It doesn't even feel like an enemy. It feels like a friend. A warm bed on a cold morning, a couch after a long day, the easy conversation instead of the hard truth. And while you're choosing comfort, your potential is suffocating in the corner. Here's what's happening. Every time you choose the warm bed over the cold morning, you're teaching your brain that comfort wins and discipline loses. Every time you choose the couch over the gym, you're casting a vote for the old identity. Every time you avoid the difficult conversation, the challenging project, the uncomfortable growth opportunity, you're cementing yourself in place. That's the key. Comfort isn't neutral. It's not rest, it's not recovery, it's a slow, invisible decay disguised as kindness to yourself. And your brain is a master at this deception. It will tell you that you deserve a break, that you've earned this, that one day off won't hurt, that rest is productive, that self-care means choosing ease over effort. And you believe it, because it sounds reasonable, it sounds healthy, it sounds wisdom. But let me ask you a question. What are you recovering from? Are you exhausted from relentless discipline and brutal workouts and 80-hour work weeks? Or are you exhausted from the mental gymnastics of avoiding the work you know you should be doing? Listen to me. Most people aren't recovering from hard work. They're recovering from the exhaustion of resisting hard work. They're tired from the internal battle of knowing what they should do and choosing not to do it. And then they call that exhaustion a reason to choose comfort again. It's a loop, and it never ends. That's the key.
True self-care is doing the thing your future self will thank you for, even when your present self hates it. The cold shower at 5 a.m., that's self-care. The workout when you're sore, that's self-care. The hard conversation you've been avoiding, that's self-care. Because these things build the person you're trying to become. Comfort just maintains the person you're trying to escape. Here's what you need to understand. Your brain associates comfort with safety and discomfort with danger. This was useful when danger meant predators and starvation, but in the modern world, comfort is the danger. Because comfort keeps you soft, weak, unprepared for anything difficult. The person who can't handle a cold shower can't handle a difficult client. The person who can't wake up early can't handle a crisis at 3 a.m. The person who avoids discomfort in small things will collapse when life demands discomfort in big things. And life will demand it. It always does. You have a choice. You can keep choosing comfort and wondering why you're not growing, or you can start associating discomfort with growth and comfort with decay. Because that's the truth. Discomfort is where you build resilience, discipline, and capability. Comfort is where those things die. So here's your assignment for the next 30 days. Every single day, you're going to actively seek one uncomfortable thing. One thing that makes your brain scream no, but your values say yes. It doesn't have to be the same thing every day, but it has to happen every day. This could be physical discomfort. Hold a plank until failure. Take a cold shower. Work out when you're sore. Sprint until your lungs burn. Your body needs to learn that discomfort is not an emergency, it's an upgrade. Or it could be social discomfort. Have the hard conversation you've been avoiding. Tell someone the truth they don't want to hear. Set a boundary you've been too afraid to set. Say no when you've always said yes. Your relationships need to learn that your comfort is not more important than your integrity. Or it could be mental discomfort. Sit in silence for 10 minutes with your thoughts and no phone. Study something difficult. Write when you don't feel inspired. Work on the project you've been procrastinating on. Your mind needs to learn that resistance is not a stop sign, it's a starting point. The specific action doesn't matter. What matters is that you're training your nervous system to stop fearing discomfort and start seeking it. Because the person who can embrace discomfort is the person who can do anything. That's the key. Comfort is not the reward for discipline. Capability is the reward for discipline. And capability only comes from repeatedly doing hard things. Now let me tell you what's going to happen. On day 1, the uncomfortable thing is going to feel unbearable. On day 7, it's going to feel hard but doable. On day 14, it's going to feel normal. On day 21, you're going to start seeking harder challenges because the old discomfort isn't uncomfortable anymore. By day 30, you will have completely recalibrated your nervous system's definition of what's possible. But here's the rule. You cannot skip a day. You cannot say, I'll do 2 tomorrow. One uncomfortable thing every day for 30 days. No exceptions, no negotiations. Because the moment you skip, you've told your brain that discomfort is still optional. And optional discomfort never becomes a habit. You have a choice. You can keep wrapping yourself in comfort and calling it self-care while your potential withers, or you can start treating discomfort as the tool it actually is, the only thing that makes you stronger, sharper, and more capable. Repeat this until it becomes your operating system. Comfort is the enemy. Discomfort is the path. I choose the path. Every single day, without fail, without exception, until seeking discomfort is no longer something you do, it's something you are. You just learned why comfort is destroying you. Now let's talk about the 60 minutes that determine whether you live in discipline or chaos. Because if you lose your morning, you've already lost your day. Chapter 5. The morning decides the day. You think your day starts when you get to work, when you sit down at your desk, when you open your laptop. You're wrong. Your day is already over by then, because the war was fought in the first 60 minutes after you opened your eyes, and you either won it or you lost it. Let me tell you how most people lose. The alarm goes off. They hit snooze. Once, twice, 3 times. They've already negotiated with themselves before their feet hit the floor. They've already taught their brain that discipline is optional. They finally drag themselves out of bed, and the first thing they do is grab their phone, scroll through social media, check emails, consume everyone else's priorities before they've even identified their own. Then they stumble to the kitchen. No plan, no structure, just reactive chaos. Coffee, maybe breakfast, maybe not. Rush through a shower, get dressed, and now they're 90 minutes into their day and they haven't made a single intentional decision. They've just been dragged along by impulse and habit and whatever dopamine hit their phone offered them. And then they wonder why they have no discipline, why they can't get anything done, why their life feels out of control. That's the key. If you lose the morning, you've already lost the day. And if you lose enough days, you've lost your life. Here's what you need to understand. The first 60 minutes after you wake up are the most neurologically powerful minutes of your entire day. Your prefrontal cortex, the part of your brain responsible for discipline, willpower, and decision-making, is at maximum strength in the morning. This is your cognitive prime time, and every hour you waste is an hour of peak mental power thrown away. But it's more than just brain chemistry, it's identity. The person who controls their morning controls their mind, and the person who controls their mind controls their life. Listen to me. Your morning routine is not about productivity hacks. It's not about optimizing your schedule. It's about proving to yourself every single day that you are someone who keeps promises to yourself, that you are not governed by feelings, that you are disciplined. So here's what has to happen. Your non-negotiable morning routine must be locked in the night before. Not when you wake up, not when you see how you feel, the night before. Because if you wake up and assess your emotional state, you've already lost. Feelings are irrelevant to discipline. The night before, you decide exactly what time you're waking up, exactly what you're doing first, exactly how the sequence unfolds. And then you eliminate every decision point so your morning operates on automation, not motivation. That's the key. Decision fatigue is real. Every choice you make depletes your willpower, so you remove the choices, you automate the sequence. Here's what this looks like in practice. The night before, you set your alarm for the exact time you're waking up, not a range, not around 6 a.m., 6 a.m. You lay out your cork-out clothes, you set up your workspace, you fill your water bottle, you remove every barrier between waking up and executing. Then the alarm goes off, and here's the rule. Feet hit the floor within 5 seconds, not 5 minutes, 5 seconds. No negotiation, no snooze button, no just 5 more minutes. The alarm is not a suggestion, it's a command, and you obey it. You have a choice. You can lie there and debate whether you really need to get up, or you can move your body before your brain has time to manufacture excuses. Feet on the floor, cold water on your face, movement, immediate movement. This could be stretching, push-ups, a walk around the block. It doesn't matter what the movement is. What matters is that you're shocking your system awake and proving to your brain that you are in control, not it. And here's the non-negotiable. No phone for the first hour. None.
You do not check messages. You do not scroll social media. You do not consume news before you've built your foundation for the day. That's the key. The person who grabs their phone first thing in the morning has already surrendered control. They're letting algorithms, other people's emergencies, and digital chaos dictate their mental state. And once you've handed over control, getting it back is nearly impossible. Your morning routine is your fortress, and nothing gets in unless you decide it gets in. Now, let me tell you what happens when you execute this perfectly for 30 days. Every single morning that you wake up at the exact time you said you would, move your body and resist the phone, you're building evidence. Evidence that you are disciplined. Evidence that you keep promises to yourself. Evidence that you are in control. This evidence compounds. After 7 days, you have 7 data points. After 14 days, you have 14. After 30 days, you have an undeniable track record that you are someone who wins their mornings. And when you have 30 consecutive mornings as proof, your brain updates its identity. You're no longer trying to be disciplined. You are disciplined. But here's the other side. Miss 1 morning and you've introduced doubt. Miss 3 mornings and you've confirmed the old identity. The rule is absolute. The morning routine happens every single day for 30 days, or you start the count over at day 1. You have a choice. You can keep waking up in chaos and spending the rest of your day trying to recover, or you can win the first 60 minutes and carry that momentum into everything else. Listen to me. The morning routine is not about being perfect. It's about being consistent. It's about proving day after day after day that you are someone who does what you say you're going to do, regardless of how you feel, regardless of what happened yesterday, regardless of what's happening today. That's the key. Discipline is not built through one perfect morning. It's built through 30 imperfect mornings where you showed up anyway. Win your morning, win your mind, win your life. You just learned how the morning decides everything. Now we need to talk about the voice in your head that's been destroying you for years. The voice that negotiates, rationalizes, and convinces you that exceptions are acceptable.
Chapter 6. Stop negotiating with yourself. Every single time you enter into an internal debate about whether to do the thing, you've already lost. The disciplined mind doesn't argue, it executes. And the moment you think, should I work out today? Or maybe I can skip just this once, you've opened the door to negotiation. And negotiation is where discipline dies. Listen to me. Your brain is a world-class lawyer. It has spent your entire life building a case for why comfort is necessary and discomfort is dangerous. And when you give it the floor, when you allow the debate to begin, it will present evidence that sounds completely reasonable. You're tired today. You've been doing well. You deserve a break. This week has been stressful. You'll do it tomorrow. Every single argument will be logical, persuasive, compelling, because your brain isn't trying to sabotage you. It's trying to protect you. And in its outdated programming, protection means avoiding effort and conserving energy. But here's what you need to understand. The debate itself is the problem. The negotiation is the trap, because once you've entertained the question, should I do this today? You've established that the behavior is optional, and optional behaviors don't become habits, they become suggestions. That's the key. Discipline isn't built through making the right decision every time. Discipline is built through removing the decision entirely. Here's what happens in the mind of someone who lacks discipline. The alarm goes off at 5 a.m. and immediately the negotiation begins. Do I really need to get up right now? I'm still tired. Maybe I can work out later. Or maybe I'll just work out tomorrow and sleep in today. 5 minutes of internal debate, 10 minutes, and by the time the negotiation is over, they've hit snooze 3 times and it's 5:45. The decision was made by default, not by design. Now, here's what happens in the mind of someone who is disciplined. The alarm goes off at 5 a.m., feet hit the floor, no debate, no negotiation, no assessment of how they feel. The plan is the plan. The law is the law. They do it or they don't, and if they don't, they're not disciplined. They're pretending. You have a choice. You can spend your entire life debating yourself every single morning, or you can decide once and execute forever. Here's how you do it. You create a no-debate protocol. These are the non-negotiables, the behaviors that are removed from the decision-making process entirely. They are not suggestions, they are not preferences, they are laws. For example, I work out every morning at 6 a.m. That's not a goal, that's not an aspiration, that's a law. It doesn't matter if you're tired, it doesn't matter if you didn't sleep well, it doesn't matter if it's raining, it doesn't matter if you're sore, it doesn't matter if you have a busy day. The law is the law. I don't eat sugar. Not a diet, not a challenge, not something you're trying to do. And identity, a law. Sugar is not food to you. It's not even an option. The question, should I eat this cookie, doesn't exist because you don't eat sugar. The negotiation never begins. I go to bed by 10 p.m. Not when you feel tired, not when you finish what you're doing. 10 p.m. every night, non-negotiable. The law is the law. That's the key. When behaviors are non-negotiable, your brain stops wasting energy debating them and redirects that energy toward execution. And here's what most people don't understand. This isn't about willpower. This isn't about being strong enough to win the argument with yourself. This is about being smart enough to never start the argument in the first place. Think about it. You don't negotiate with yourself about brushing your teeth. You don't wake up and think, should I brush my teeth today? Maybe I'll skip it just this once. I'll do it tomorrow. Why? Because brushing your teeth is non-negotiable. It's automated. Your brain doesn't even present it as a choice. That's what your keystone habit needs to become. That's what your morning routine needs to become. That's what discipline needs to become. Non-negotiable, automated, not up for debate. Now, here's the hard part. Your brain will still try to negotiate. Even after you've declared something non-negotiable, your brain will test the boundary. It will throw excuses at you. It will present compelling evidence. It will tell you that today is different, that circumstances have changed, that this one time is the exception. And this is where you need a single phrase that becomes your firewall. This is not up for debate. Say it out loud if you have to. The brain says you're too tired. This is not up for debate. The brain says you're too busy. This is not up for debate. The brain says you've earned a break. This is not up for debate. That phrase is your shield. It doesn't engage with the excuse. It doesn't argue with the logic. It simply states the reality. This behavior is non-negotiable. End of discussion. You have a choice. You can spend your entire life debating yourself every single morning, or you can decide once and execute forever. Here's what will happen. The first week, your brain will throw everything at you. Every excuse, every rationalization, every reason why today should be the exception. And you will catch it the instant negotiation begins and shut it down. This is not up for debate. Week 2, the brain starts to learn. The excuses come less frequently, less intensely, because your brain is beginning to understand that negotiation doesn't work anymore. The answer is always the same. Week 3, something shifts. The behavior starts to feel less like a battle and more like a routine. The brain stops resisting because it knows resistance is pointless. Week 4, the negotiation stops entirely. Your brain doesn't even try anymore because it's accepted the new reality. The behavior is non-negotiable. It's who you are now. That's the key. Discipline isn't built through thousands of hard decisions. It's built through one decision that you refuse to revisit. You don't negotiate with your feelings. You don't negotiate with circumstances. You don't negotiate with convenience. The plan is the plan. The law is the law, and you execute it regardless of what your brain tries to sell you. Stop debating yourself. Stop entertaining the question. Stop treating discipline like it's optional. Decide once and execute forever. And watch what happens when negotiation is no longer part of your vocabulary. You just learned how to end the internal argument.
Now let's talk about the most powerful accountability system you'll ever use, one that doesn't require another person, doesn't require an app, and creates momentum that becomes impossible to break.
Chapter 7. The Power of the Streak. A streak is psychological leverage, and once you understand how to use it, you'll never go back to trying to build discipline without it. Here's what a streak does. Once you've done something for 5 days in a row, 10 days in a row, 20 days in a row, your brain becomes emotionally invested in protecting that streak. Breaking it doesn't just mean missing one workout or skipping one morning. It means erasing all that progress. And that psychological weight is enough to get you out of bed when motivation is gone. Listen to me. This is why people who track their habits obsessively succeed at dramatically higher rates than people who don't. They've turned discipline into a game where the score is visible. And breaking the streak means losing the game. That shift in framing changes everything. After 10 consecutive days of your keystone habit, you're no longer just trying to build discipline, you're trying to protect a streak. And that small psychological shift creates massive behavioral change. That's the key. The streak transforms discipline from something you're attempting into something you're defending. Here's how it works. Day 1, you execute the habit. Day 2, you execute it again. By day 3, you have a 3-day streak. It's small, fragile, easy to break, but it exists, and your brain registers it. By day 7, you have a 7-day streak. Now there's weight behind it, real investment. You've spent a full week building this. Are you really going to throw it away? By day 14, the streak has power, 2 full weeks of consistency. Breaking it now feels like demolishing something you've worked hard to build. By day 21, the streak is valuable. 3 weeks of evidence, 3 weeks of proof. Your brain doesn't want to see that number go back to 0. And by day 30, the streak is sacred. 30 consecutive days of keeping a promise to yourself. That's not just a number. That's identity. That's transformation. That's undeniable proof that you are disciplined. But here's what makes the streak actually work. It has to be visible. It has to be undeniable. You cannot track it mentally and expect the same results. Here's what you do. You get a physical calendar, not an app, not a digital tracker, a real calendar that hangs on your wall where you see it every single morning. And every day you complete the habit, you mark a giant X on that day. Bold, visible, undeniable. That's the key. The visual reinforcement is everything. Because on day 15, when you wake up tired, when resistance is screaming at you to quit, you look at that calendar and you see 15 consecutive X's staring back at you. 15 days of discipline, 15 days of promises kept, 15 days that represent who you're becoming, and the thought of breaking that streak, of seeing a blank space interrupt that beautiful pattern becomes intolerable. The streak creates accountability to yourself, not to a coach, not to a friend, not to an app, to yourself. And that's the most powerful form of accountability there is. You have a choice. You can try to build discipline in your head where it's invisible and easy to ignore, or you can make it physical, visible, and impossible to deny. Now here's what happens as the streak grows. It generates momentum, and momentum is one of the most underrated forces in behavior change. Every day you add to the streak, the next day becomes easier. Not because the habit itself is easier, because the psychological cost of breaking the streak becomes higher. On day 5, breaking the streak costs you 5 days. Painful, but survivable. On day 20, breaking the streak costs you 20 days. That's 3 weeks of work erased. The brain doesn't want to pay that price. On day 27, you're 3 days away from 30. The finish line is visible. Breaking the streak now would be devastating. That's the key. The streak doesn't just track your progress, it protects it. And here's the beautiful part.
After 30 days, you don't stop. You keep going, because now the streak is part of your identity. Now you're someone with a 60-day streak, 90 days, 6 months, a year. The longer it goes, the more valuable it becomes, the more impossible it becomes to break. But let me tell you what happens if you break the streak, because you will be tempted. Life will throw chaos at you, circumstances will demand exceptions, and one day you might miss. You might break the streak. Here's the rule. If you break the streak, you start over immediately. Not tomorrow, not Monday, not next month. The same day you break it, you start at day 1. This is critical because missing one day doesn't destroy the rewiring process, but missing one day and then spiraling into a week of inaction does. The rule is simple. Break the streak, mark day 1 immediately, and refuse to let one failure become a pattern. Listen to me. The people who succeed aren't the ones who never fail. They're the ones who treat failure as a data point and get back on the streak within 24 hours. You have a choice. You can let one missed day become one missed week, one missed month, one more abandoned goal in the graveyard, or you can treat it as a reset and start building immediately. Here's what the streak proves. Every X on that calendar is evidence. Evidence that you are someone who keeps promises to yourself. Evidence that you are disciplined. Evidence that you are capable of relentless consistency. And after 30 days of consecutive X's, your brain has no choice but to update its identity. You're not trying to be disciplined anymore. You are disciplined. The streak is the proof. That's the key. Streaks don't just build habits, they build identity through undeniable evidence. So here's what you do starting today. Pick your keystone habit. Get a physical calendar. Hang it where you see it every morning and mark an X for every single day you execute. No exceptions, no negotiations, no skipping. Protect the streak like it's the most valuable thing you own, because it is. The streak is your discipline made visible, your transformation made tangible, your identity made real. Build the streak. Protect the streak. Let the streak prove who you are. You just learned how to create unstoppable momentum. Now let's talk about why motivation is a trap and what actually works instead.
Chapter 8. You don't need motivation, you need systems. Motivation is an emotion, and emotions are temporary. Relying on motivation to drive your discipline is like relying on the weather to power your house. Some days it's there, most days it's not. And the moment it disappears, your progress stops. Let me tell you something about disciplined people. They don't feel motivated most of the time. They feel tired, they feel resistant, they feel annoyed, just like everyone else. The difference is they've built systems that function independently of how they feel. A system is a pre-decided sequence of actions that happens automatically. And once the system is in place, motivation becomes irrelevant. That's the key. Motivation is what amateurs wait for. Systems are what professionals build. Here's what happens when you rely on motivation. Monday morning, you wake up feeling great, energized, ready to conquer the world. You work out, you eat healthy, you crush your to-do list. You think, this is it, I've finally figured it out. Tuesday, the motivation is still there but fading. You push through. Wednesday, it's gone. You wake up tired. The resistance is back. And because your entire strategy was built on motivation, you have nothing to fall back on. You skip the workout. You grab the easy meal. You scroll instead of work. And by Friday, you're back where you started. This is the motivation trap, and millions of people are stuck in it. Listen to me. You cannot build a life on a feeling. Feelings are weather. They change every day, sometimes every hour. If you only do the work when you feel like it, you will never build anything permanent. But systems run regardless of weather. Systems run regardless of feelings. Systems run because they're designed to run. Here's how you build a system. You stop focusing on outcomes and start focusing on identity. Outcomes are external, often outside your control. Identity is internal and completely within your power to reinforce daily. Don't say, "I want to lose 20 pounds." Say, "I am someone who works out every morning." Don't say, "I want to build a business." Say, "I am someone who creates every day." Don't say, "I want to read more." Say, "I am someone who reads for 30 minutes before bed." That's the key. Outcomes are goals. Identity is systems. Because here's what happens with outcome-based thinking. You set a goal to lose 20 pounds. You work hard for 2 weeks. You lose 3 pounds. You step on the scale and think, "Only 3 pounds? This is going to take forever." You get discouraged, you quit. The outcome was too far away. The feedback loop was too slow. But with identity-based thinking, every single day you execute the system, you're casting a vote for the identity you want to build. Work out this morning? You voted for the identity of someone who works out. Skip it? You voted for the old identity. After 30 days of consistent votes, the identity becomes self-evident. After 90 days, it's undeniable. The system maintains itself. You have a choice. You can chase outcomes and quit when they don't come fast enough, or you can build identity through systems and become the kind of person for whom the outcomes are inevitable. Now here's what makes a system actually work. It has to be ridiculously specific. Vague plans create vague results. "I'll work out more" is not a system, it's a wish. "I will do 50 push-ups, 50 squats, and a 10-minute plank in my living room at 6:05 a.m. every morning." That's a system. See the difference? The system removes all ambiguity. It removes all decision points. It tells you exactly what to do, exactly when to do it, and exactly where to do it. There's no room for negotiation, no space for the brain to manufacture resistance. That's the key. The more automated the system, the less resistance your brain can generate. Here's what you do. You write your system down, every detail, then you memorize it, then you execute it identically every single day for 30 days. No modifications, no adjustments, no "I'll just do it differently today." Because every time you modify the system, you introduce decision fatigue, and decision fatigue depletes willpower. The system works because it removes decisions. You don't decide whether to work out. You don't decide what workout to do. You don't decide when to do it. It's already decided. You just execute. And here's what happens after 30 days of identical execution. The system runs you. You don't have to run it anymore. Your body knows what to do at 6:05 a.m. Your brain stops resisting because resistance doesn't change anything. The system happens whether you feel like it or not. Listen to me. Motivation will fail you. It always does. But systems? Systems are permanent. Systems don't care about your mood. Systems don't care about your circumstances. Systems just run. You have a choice. You can keep waiting to feel motivated and accomplish nothing, or you can build a system that functions regardless of how you feel and accomplish everything. Here's the truth. Every successful person you admire has systems. They don't rely on motivation to write, to train, to create, to build. They have systems that execute automatically. The morning routine is a system. The workout schedule is a system. The creative practice is a system. The business operations are systems. And those systems run when they're tired, when they're busy, when they're stressed, when they're traveling, when they're sick. The systems adapt, but they don't stop. That's the key. Systems are designed to survive disruption. Motivation dies the moment life gets hard. So here's what you do starting now. You stop asking, "Am I motivated today?" and start asking, "What's my system?" You stop relying on feelings to drive action and start relying on pre-decided sequences that happen regardless of feelings. You build the system, you memorize the system, you execute the system every single day, without exception, without modification, until the system becomes who you are. And when someone asks you, "How do you stay so motivated?" you'll know the truth. You're not motivated,
You're systematic, and that's infinitely more powerful. You just learned why systems beat motivation every time. Now let's talk about the behaviors that are quietly destroying your discipline and how to eliminate them completely.
Chapter 9. Eliminate before you optimize. You don't need to add more discipline to your life. You need to eliminate the things that are draining it. Listen to me. Every distraction, every time waster, every low-value activity is a leak in your discipline tank, and no amount of willpower can overcome a life that's been designed for distraction. You can try to wake up earlier, work out harder, build new skills, but if you don't first plug the leaks, all that effort just drains away. Here's what most people do. They try to build discipline on top of chaos. They wake up at 5 a.m., which takes enormous effort. Then they immediately check their phone and spend 20 minutes scrolling. They plan to work out, but Netflix is queued up with the next episode. They commit to eating healthy, but the pantry is full of junk food. They want to focus, but social media apps are one tap away. And then they wonder why discipline feels impossible. It's not that you lack willpower, it's that you're trying to fill a tank that has holes in it. That's the key. Before you optimize anything, you have to eliminate the leaks. Here's the truth. Discipline isn't just about what you do, it's about what you refuse to do. And most people never take the time to identify and eliminate the behaviors that are sabotaging them every single day. So here's what you're going to do. Right now, today, you're going to identify your top 3 discipline killers, the habits, apps, or behaviors that consistently pull you away from your goals, the things that steal your time, your attention, your energy, and your progress. For most people, it's obvious. Phone scrolling, social media, binge-watching streaming services, video games, junk food, toxic relationships, doom-scrolling news, staying up late for no reason. You already know what yours are. You've known for years. You just haven't been willing to eliminate them. And here's where most people fail. They try to moderate. They try to reduce. They tell themselves, I'll just do it less. I'll scroll for only 30 minutes instead of 2 hours. I'll watch only 1 episode instead of 5. No, that doesn't work. And you already know it doesn't work because you've tried it 100 times. Listen to me. You don't reduce your discipline killers. You eliminate them completely for 30 days minimum. That's the key. Elimination, not moderation. Delete the social media apps from your phone, not I'll use them less. Delete them. Cancel the streaming subscriptions, not I'll watch less. Cancel them. Throw out the junk food, not I'll eat it occasionally. Throw it out. Unfollow the accounts that make you feel worse about yourself. Block the websites that drain your time. Remove the temptation before it has a chance to test you. Because here's what you need to understand. Your environment is stronger than your willpower, always. If the temptation is available, you will eventually give in. Not because you're weak, because you're human. But if the temptation doesn't exist, if the app is deleted, the subscription is canceled, the food isn't in the house, then there's nothing to resist. The battle never happens. And that's how you win. You have a choice. You can keep trying to out-willpower your environment and lose every time. Or you can design your environment so that discipline is the path of least resistance. Now here's what happens when you eliminate your discipline killers. You create a vacuum. And if you don't intentionally fill that vacuum with something productive, the old habit will creep back in. Think about it. If you delete social media but don't replace it with anything, what are you going to do with all that time? You're going to be bored, restless, anxious. This is withdrawal. This is normal. This is your brain adjusting to the absence of easy stimulation. Push through it. Fill the void with your system. By day 7, the discomfort fades. By day 14, you forget you ever needed those things. By day 30, you look back and realize how much time, energy, and mental space you've reclaimed.
That's the key. You can't optimize a broken system. You have to eliminate the breaks first. Stop trying to do more. Start by doing less of what's destroying you. Eliminate the discipline killers. Fill the void with your system and watch what happens when there's nothing left to sabotage your progress. You just learned that elimination beats addition. Now let's talk about the moment everything changes, when discipline stops being something you do and becomes something you are.
Chapter 10. The Identity Shift. Becoming undisciplined is no longer an option. After 30 days of relentless execution, something changes. You don't just have new habits, you have a new identity. And identity is the most powerful force in human psychology. You're no longer someone trying to be disciplined, you are disciplined. You're no longer someone working on waking up early, you are an early riser. You're no longer someone attempting to get fit, you are someone who works out. The shift from doing to being is what makes the change permanent. Listen to me. This is why people who quit smoking and say, "I'm not a smoker," succeed at higher rates than people who say, "I'm trying to quit." One is an identity, the other is a struggle. One is who you are, the other is what you're attempting, and your brain will always default to identity over effort. That's the key. When behavior becomes identity, acting against it feels like betraying yourself. Here's what happens over the course of 30 days. Day 1 through 10, you're doing the behavior. It's hard, it's conscious, it's effort. You're someone trying to build discipline. Day 11 through 20, you're becoming someone disciplined. The behavior is getting easier, more automatic. The identity is forming. Day 21 through 30, you are disciplined. The behavior is who you are. Acting against it would feel wrong. And on day 30, when you look at the calendar and see 30 consecutive X's, you're not looking at a habit tracker, you're looking at proof of identity. 30 days of evidence that you are someone who keeps promises to yourself. 30 days of data points proving you are disciplined. Your brain has no choice but to accept it. You are who the evidence says you are. That's the key. Identity isn't built through declarations, it's built through evidence, and 30 days of consistency is undeniable evidence. But here's where most people fail. They build the new identity, they feel the shift, and then they let their guard down. They think, "I've done it, I'm disciplined now, I can relax a little." And the moment they relax, the old identity starts creeping back in. So listen very carefully. You need to protect your new identity with extreme prejudice, because the world will test you immediately. Friends will invite you to break your routine. "Come on, just this once. You've been so good. One day won't hurt." Circumstances will demand exceptions. You're traveling, you're sick, you're busy. Surely you can skip today. Your own mind will whisper, "You've proven yourself. You don't need to be so strict anymore." Every single one of these is a test, and every time you say no, you reinforce the identity. Every time you say yes, you weaken it. The rule for the next 30 days and beyond is simple. If it conflicts with the identity you're building, you don't do it. Period. That's the key. Identity protection is non-negotiable. Here's what this looks like in practice. Someone offers you junk food. You've decided you're someone who doesn't eat junk food. The answer is not, "No thanks, I'm trying to eat better." The answer is, "No, I don't eat that." Not trying, don't. Identity, not process. See the difference? Words matter. The words you use either reinforce identity or undermine it, and most people undermine their own identity every time they speak.
You have a choice. You can talk about discipline like it's something you're attempting, or you can talk about it like it's who you are. Now, here's what happens when you protect your identity consistently. It becomes self-reinforcing. The more you act from identity, the stronger the identity becomes. The stronger the identity becomes, the easier it is to act from it. It's a loop, a positive feedback loop that compounds over time. After 60 days of living from your disciplined identity, breaking it would feel like putting on someone else's clothes. Wrong, uncomfortable, not you. After 90 days, acting undisciplined would feel like lying, like betraying the person you've become. After 6 months, a year, 5 years, discipline isn't something you practice, it's something you are. That's the key. Identity becomes self-evident through consistent action over time. But let me tell you what the identity shift actually means. It means you can't go back. Not won't, can't, because going back would mean becoming someone else. And once you've tasted what it feels like to be disciplined, to be in control, to keep promises to yourself, mediocrity becomes intolerable. You've seen what you're capable of. You've felt what discipline creates, and you can't unsee it. You can't unfeel it. The person you were before the 30-day discipline reset, that person is gone, and good riddance. Listen to me. The 30-day discipline reset isn't the end. It's the beginning of a life where discipline is your default state. Because once you've proven to yourself that you can rewire your brain in 30 days, you realize you can do it again and again and again. You can reset your fitness, your career, your relationships, your finances, all using the same protocol, same keystone habit, same consistency, same identity building through evidence. The process works for anything. The person you become after this reset is someone who doesn't fear hard things anymore, because you've built undeniable evidence that you can endure, execute, and evolve. That's the key. This is no longer about trying. This is about being. And once you are disciplined, everything else becomes possible. The business you want to build, disciplined people build businesses. The body you want to have, disciplined people build bodies. The life you want to live, disciplined people build lives. You are disciplined now, not trying to be, not working on it. You are. The evidence proves it. 30 days proves it, and every day forward reinforces it. So here's what happens next. You protect this identity like your life depends on it, because in a very real way, it does. Your potential depends on it. Your future depends on it. Everything you want to become depends on maintaining the identity of someone who is disciplined. The 30-day discipline reset gave you the identity. Now you defend it. Every day, every choice, every moment someone or something tries to pull you back to who you used to be, you remember who you are now. You are disciplined. Act accordingly.
So here's what happens next. You have two choices. The first choice is you close this video, you go back to scrolling, you tell yourself, that was interesting, and in 3 months, you're exactly where you are right now. Same excuses, same failures, same broken promises to yourself. Or you make the second choice. You decide that today is day 1. You pick one keystone habit. You commit to 30 days of non-negotiable execution. No feelings, no negotiations, no exceptions. You survive the 72-hour window. You build the streak. You eliminate the leaks. And on day 30, you look in the mirror and you see someone different. Someone who finishes what they start. Someone who doesn't need motivation because they've built systems. Someone who is disciplined, not trying to be,
but actually is. The brain you have right now got you here. The brain you build in the next 30 days gets you everywhere else. So what's it going to be? Are you going to keep running the same broken program, or are you going to reset? The 30 days start now. Not tomorrow, not Monday, now. Prove it to yourself. Rewire your brain. Become relentless. Go.